In all seriousness, though, I'm kind of curious about. So think about this. When Star Wars Episode 1 came out, at the time, when the movie came out, I was a little kid, I was 12 years old, so I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, the pod racing and Darth Maul and all that.
I still love the pod racing.
Oh, how could you not? The both things are incredible. But, the times have not looked very favorably on Star Wars Episode 1 for one reason or another, Jar Jar being a big reason. I wonder if Star Wars Episode 7 is going to get similar treatment in that people are going to have rose-colored glasses on because it's Star Wars, and no matter what, they're going to give it a positive review. And then, let's say, for example, the movie actually is really crummy, but then the people act like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, and they build upon this crumminess, and they ruin another trilogy. See, I'm terrified of that happening. It's my nightmare.
Yeah, that would be pretty terrible. But hopefully the movie lives up to all the hype and delivers.
It better. Do you think a Star Wars movie will ever win an Oscar?
Who knows?
Yeah, actually, Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight won an Oscar.
Yeah, so I don't see why it couldn't happen.
Yeah, the guy playing the Joker won an Oscar, so why can't a guy playing a Sith Lord, right?
True.
As we both well know, there's nobody looking more Sith-like than Vincent Kennedy McMahon last night on Raw.
Do it.
Apologize. I can't even do the voice. Apologize.
Get down on your knees and apologize.
You son of a bitch.
Give him the low blow, too.
He's never gonna get it. Yeah, that was Vince as good as we've ever seen him.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like the guy doesn't get any older at all.
Never. He's found the fountain of youth.
Yes, it is. It's whatever it is that Vince has found, but whatever it is, it's resulted in the guy actually becoming, somehow, some way better in every way every year it passes. He doesn't get worse in any way.
No.
Vince likes to joke that I'm not gonna die. I don't plan on dying. That guy, he might actually do it. Like, he's done so many impossible things that I didn't think were possible. Like, who knows?
He's gonna succeed.
Yeah. What's gonna happen first? Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, commercial space flights, or Vince McMahon living forever?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Find out next week on Monday Night Raw.
This is definitely, last night's show definitely, in my opinion, harkened the beginning of an entirely new era for the WWE. And I don't know if it's going to be quite that revolutionary to the point where we're going to be rocketing off into space or Vince McMahon living on in some sort of mechanical body. But it's going to be quite different. Now that Roman Reigns somehow, some way has managed to turn, can we say a majority of the audience yet?
It feels like he's turned more of the audience.
More of?
Yeah.
Not a majority, just more? For now, we can just say more?
Yeah.
Okay.
just more.
Yeah. At the end of both the TLC show and Monday Night Raw, the crowd actually seemed to be cheering for Roman.
Yeah, they did.
For better or for worse.
There was no more "We want Cena" chants, which they were chanting during the match at TLC.
I think part of that has to do with the fact that it was Boston, Cena's old stomping ground.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear it some more.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either. And maybe Cena will come back one day.
Well, I just saw a poster for Royal Rumble, and he's
Oh yeah.
on the poster. And I don't know if you've seen what the brand. You know how every year Royal Rumble has a different theme.
Mhm.
This year's theme is kind of like I guess I don't want to say Roman gladiators. It's more like Greek Olympics, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. It's like marble statues.
Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, Olympics. Yeah, he's synonymous with Olympics. There's only one Kurt though.
True.
And Kurt, we don't usually talk about non-WWE things, but the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle recently announced that he's on his retirement tour. He's going to be wrapping things up here pretty quick. And good for him that he didn't drag it out like some people
No.
and tarnish his legacy. Even today, Kurt's matches, like I saw him in TNA as recently as 3 or 4 months ago, and he's still doing great. Mentally, he's as sharp as ever. His work looks great, but his body's breaking down, so he needs to pack it up, and that's fine.
Yeah, that is.
And besides, Gable and Jordan are coming up.
Oh yeah.
The
The
Kurt,
mini angles.
yeah, the Kurt Angle Juniors.
Oh yeah.
Big
They're going to work.
Yes, they are. They're doing great. If we can really quickly talk about the NXT programming right now, just go over the upcoming TakeOver show real quick.
Upcoming takeover show. Well, there's Nia Jax is going to be going up against Bayley for the Divas Championship.
Women's Championship.
Women's Championship. That's right. And Samoa Joe is going to be taking on Finn Balor for that NXT Championship.
It should be a good match.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
I wonder if Mean Joe is going to take it.
Well, the last 2 weeks in a row, we saw Mean Joe just choke out Finn Balor entirely, leave him spinning and frothing like a stuck pig, as JR would say.
Good sell on that.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, not clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as Austin says, nobody escapes that hole.
No.
So that should be a good match, but I think we can agree that Finn's probably going to go over.
Yeah, probably. I don't see why not. And I'm sure Apollo Crews is most likely going to go over against Baron Corbin as well.
Safe bet, and I hope that happens, definitely, for sure.
Mhm.
Anything else on the show?
Oh yeah, there's Enzo and Cass are going up against Dash and Dawson for their NXT titles, or the tag team titles.
Just like we've recently seen how Tyler Breeze has been rewarded for his years of dedication to NXT with a spot on the full roster, I have a feeling that not only will Cass and Enzo win here at the TakeOver show, they're going to hold the titles for a little while. They're going to be a dominant team, and then we're going to see them as a fixture on the WWE main roster before long. Because to me, they seem more than ready. And last week on the NXT regular show from Full Sail, they looked great, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
It was a job match, but it was a great job match.
Yeah, they were on fire that night.
They were. You notice how NXT's job matches are different than WWE's?
Yeah, they are.
It's almost like in WWE, because we're always seeing like Bo Dallas, R-Truth, people like that. I want to see Heath Slater, but we never actually see Heath Slater. Putting people over in enhancement matches. I personally, and I know you do too, we often just end up making fun of the jobber.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, here comes, Bo Dallas again, if he's so silly, he's going to lose. But in NXT, because we know it's an enhancement match, because unnamed local talent, like Asuka's job match last week.
Just knocking her out cold with one roundhouse kick.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have to make fun of that person. We're like, we feel bad for her,
Yeah.
and that's exactly the feeling that a job match is supposed to leave a person with. You're not supposed to be laughing. You're supposed to be like, oh wow, the person who got put over, they're really, really dominant.
Speaking of job match, when Samoa Joe had that match with Tommaso Ciampa, that was pretty brutal.
You're right, but do you really think that was a job match? I have a hard time calling that a job match.
Well, I guess in the end it was, but like it was a really, really good match.
Yeah, it wasn't like a 2-minute.
No.
In the end, you're right. In the end, I guess you would call that an enhancement match because Tommaso had very little offense.
Mhm.
It lasted time because he tried so many different things.
Yeah.
And it's just Joe was just too fierce, too strong, too vicious. Samoa Joe is a person just like we talk about Alberto Del Rio, being someone whose kicks and punches look really good and really realistic.
Mhm.
Joe is the exact same way.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see an MMA match between Samoa Joe and Alberto Del Rio. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, I'd pay to see that.
The Coquina Clutch versus the Cross Arm Breaker.
Oh my god.
He gets so into it when he does the see. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you want to touch on from an NXT point of view?
NXT, I think we've covered just about everything.
Okay. Just one quick note on WWE. I found out recently that Santino Marella has his own training facility in Mississauga, in Ontario.
Oh.
And apparently, I found this out. You remember MVP?
No.
No, he was a WWE star. He's someone who has his own podcast. And I was listening to him on his show recently, the VIP Lounge on MLW Radio. And he talked about how at Santino's school, all of the wrestlers are trained by an actual jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Oh, cool.
So they're taught real MMA as well as wrestling.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and what's really cool is anytime they have a live show, the day before the live show, they have basically an MMA competition with the card that they have booked for the live show.
What?
Yeah, and then like you actually have to, for real, actually shoot wrestle or MMA grapple with your actual wrestling opponent. And the person that wins in the matches the day before the show, that too goes over the following day.
What? That's
Isn't that crazy?
insane. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it makes sense, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know about you, but nothing takes me out of the moment more than things that are, terribly unbelievable, like the lunatic lariat. I know you love it. But
Yeah.
60% of the time, it's like, but the other 40% of the time, it's like, oh.
Yeah. I really like the rebound when people are about to throw him back into the ring and then he spins around.
That one's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
He usually saves it for a good spot.
Mhm.
And I think that's a good time to talk about the fact that the lunatic fringe, Dean Ambrose, is now the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, yes.
As a member of the Ambrose Asylum.
Very pleased.
Are we going to be seeing a long run out of the lunatic?
I mean, who knows? Like, I'm not so sure Kevin Owens will get his title back right away, so I'm sure we'll see, a fairly lengthy run.
Past Royal Rumble, at least?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so.
We can't call Sheamus' run fairly lengthy.
No.
Get it for 1 month.
Longer than 5:15, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But that's about as short a world title run as I've seen since the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm. And Roman got the title on Raw. That was just insane.
It just can't be overlooked. I mean,
The Vincent.
it's real. It's absolutely real. Me and my cronies just can't help but notice the fact that, for one reason or another, WWE is going back to some of its Attitude Era tactics, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
And the ones they used so far, most of them have worked. The nonsense with Lana, Rusev, and Ryback doesn't warrant mentioning. But
Not at all.
Yeah, not at all. But the stuff that Vince McMahon and the Authority has been trying recently, for the most part, has been doing pretty good. Triple H with the great selling on Sunday night.
Mhm.
Vince McMahon with great selling on Monday night. I gotta bring Shane back so he can go take some bumps on Monday.
Jump off the Titantron again. Don't do it, Shane.
Imagine, we haven't seen Shane in 10 years and that's his reintroduction.
Maybe that's how someone's gonna beat Braun Strowman.
They have to.
Shane's gonna have to come back and jump off the Titantron.
Oh my god.
He's gonna have to put his body and soul on the line.
Neville will hit him with a red arrow off the top of the Titantron.
Yes.
A triple red arrow. It's the only way.
Mhm.
I love how in kayfabe, when you do more flips, it makes you do more damage somehow.
Yeah.
Because flips means damage, obviously.
It's physics.
Multiplying.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. Like, yeah. Sure, we played 1080.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Divas picture right now. On the pre-show for TLC, we got to see the boss, Sasha Banks, face off against the flame-haired maiden from Ireland, Becky Lynch.
The last kicker.
The last kicker, yes. In a fun match where Tasha was really, really over with the Boston crowd, her hometown crowd. And on the main show, we saw Charlotte defend her Divas Championship against Paige. And we saw Charlotte's father, Ric Flair, the Nick Chill Boy, featured very prominently. Perhaps too prominently?
Yeah, he was styling and profiling a little bit too much there.
Now, in your honest opinion, is that the writers, or is that Ric Flair being like, I want to be on Monday night, daddy? Woo!
I have a feeling it's the writers.
And Rick not complaining whatsoever?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's not complaining because he's making the money.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But it would be nice for Charlotte to kind of distance herself and kind of become her own person.
Yep. With these screw-off finishes, and we saw another screw-off finish on Monday night where it was Becky and Charlotte teaming up against, who were they teaming up against?
It was Alicia Fox
And Brie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they won by Rick screwing them.
Yeah.
Not literally, folks. Woo! Woo! And that stuff's getting old. That's getting really old, and
Yeah.
we don't need to see that anymore whatsoever.
No.
It's okay to see Rick every now and then, and for him to join Charlotte, but having him participate in the matches takes totally away from the talent in the ring. And he's retired. He needs to stay retired. Well, he doesn't need to stay retired. I'm not saying he's telling Rick to stay away from the ring. I'm just saying, why hurt your daughter's chance to become more famous?
Yeah.
Do you really think that him, helping her get screw-off finishes helps her get more famous?
I don't
Honestly,
think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
But that's my opinion. I'm a mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that, I think aside from the Vincening, the reintroduction of the Vince McMahon regime a la 1998, the other most noteworthy thing that we took away from this week in WWE was the fact that Dean Ambrose is being booked a lot stronger.
Yeah, it's like significantly stronger.
Mm-hmm. He's using more moves. To me, my honest opinion is the fact that I think someone, maybe Triple H, maybe it was Vince himself, probably said to Dean, look, one day you're going to be world champion. Maybe. Yeah.
And then we can finally get the fish tank.
Yes. I think that person, whoever it was that tried to light the fire under Dean, probably said, Dean, be honest with me. Are you as good at wrestling as Seth Rollins?
You bet your ass I am.
Prove it. And then he goes out and he does some tremendous work this past couple nights.
Mhm.
I'm really pleased with it. I'm someone who's very, very critical of Dean. Not because I don't like him, just because I do like him and I want him to succeed. So, well done for him. Roman's matches are definitely improving. I think we can agree as well.
Oh yeah.
The spot where he kind of bicep curls the person and the power bombs them.
Yeah.
It looks like it hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
My back.
And it just looks like it hurts a lot. It looks awkward and painful.
Mhm.
But if he's actually somehow bicep curling them with one arm, then good job. It's a tattoo, right?
Good on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The same tattoo that prevents his arm from breaking when Alberto hits him with the cross arm.
Yeah. Nobody can break the tattoo on him.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely. And hair flip, he's a savage.
Mhm.
Absolute savage.
He's a wild man.
He's a
An
wild-
absolute wild man.
Ooh. Talking about getting broken though, it warrants mentioning really quickly that the United States champion Alberto Del Rio, who's in a regular ordinary program with the real American Jack Swagger, Jack got put through a lot of chairs on Sunday night.
Yeah. That was a very brutal chair match.
Very brutal. Well, yeah, absolutely. It was just over 10 minutes, and they used as many of those minutes as possible for brutal chair action. And
Both of them got buried in chairs, I think, at one point or another.
yeah, you're right about that. Absolutely. We don't really see too many of those types of matches, so that shortens people's careers. But it was brutal, and it got the shock value that I guess they were trying to elicit from the audience. And finally, talk about shocking. I honestly didn't expect that triple threat tag team match at TLC, the opening match of the pay-per-view. I didn't expect that to steal the show the way it did.
No, I didn't expect it either. Like, I knew it was gonna be good, just from the simple fact that, like, it's Lucha Dragons, Usos, and New Day, so, like, I knew there was gonna be something good with ladders involved. But it, like, exceeded my expectations, even.
Oh, absolutely. And what more can we expect from that trio? Is that the kind of thing that we will be seeing every week now?
Could be.
One can only hope.
How long?
Maybe another 10 minutes?
Sure, okay, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so really complete the wrap of that thought on the tag teams. New Day still looks strong, as they should, I think. Don't you think they deserve to look strong at this point?
Mm.
Like, honestly, as much as I like the Lucha Dragons and the Usos, the best outcome from that match was for New Day to go over. I'm glad they did. They need to get tired a little bit longer. They need to continue.
This is a no DQ match.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Xavier Woods' commentary was phenomenal, as usual. It was really, really good. And this, the way he said this is a no DQ match and just jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It especially was great because, you know, leading up to that, he was saying how, no, we're going to prove that we only need 2 members to do this. Although they did do mighty fine with just 2 members. Biggie bench pressing both of the Lucha Dragons on top of a ladder.
Absolutely. And Kofi taking some of the sickest bumps I've ever seen him taking in my life.
Just killed them.
Yeah. We saw him limping on Monday night, and there's not a human being alive that wouldn't be limping after those bumps.
No.
I probably wouldn't even be walking. I would still be in a warm bath.
A lot of broken bodies that night.
Yeah, and broken tables. Finally, the only real program left that we're talking about to take us into the rapid fire segment is the program with the Wyatt family. And I don't, you know, in the past couple of programs, I've been talking about the fact that, to me, it seems like the Wyatt family's dispute, rivalry, with Team Extreme, the ECW Originals, it's just a warm-up for an eventual program between the Wyatts and the League of Nations. Do you still think that's possible? True? Yes? No?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Okay. So do you think the rivalry between the ECW Originals and the Wyatt family, does it have enough steam to last into another pay-per-view, or is it something they should just pack up one of these days? Soon.
I mean, I'm sure if they packed it up, they'd easily find other spots for Team ECW, but they could also get quite a few more Extreme Rules matches and other over-the-top matches out of it, and might get ratings.
They might. And
bringing out the lighter fluid.
Holy smokes! Thanks for bringing that up. The takeaway from this week in WWE, taking us into the rapid fire segment of the program, Vince and the boys, I guess they listen to the show because they actually somehow turn things around. Apparently, statistically, there was a 27% increase in viewership this week's Raw compared to last, which is tremendous. I know Vince is going to be happy. He himself has a lot to do with it, his appearance. But a lot of it has to do with the booking, the quality of the matches, and I think it's just they're making the best use of the talent. True, they have brought in a couple of unexpected helpers in Tommy Dreamer and Rhino. Didn't expect that all of a sudden, but why not? They're making the most of it. So the first question I have for you in the rapid fire segment is, how long of a run is appropriate for the ECW Originals? I guess specifically, how long should all four of those guys be main roster talents? Because let's be honest here. Now is the time to develop new talents, not to cultivate talents of 15 years ago.
I could see maybe like one or maybe two more pay-per-views.
Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the Royal Rumble after? What's the pay-per-view for Royal Rumble? It's Fastlane.
Yeah, I think so.
Fastlane and then WrestleMania, right? Because it's in March.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think they'll make it to Mania? I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but maybe they will end up, putting them through to that. Just have one last ECW hurrah.
Who knows?
And maybe that's when Dudley Boys could be the 10-time champs.
Hey, you're right. The New Day has proven again and again and again that they generally need Xavier to interfere and save the match.
Mm-hmm.
But if they have the originals with them, Rhino and Dreamer, and the
There'd be
candlesticks.
no one interfering with
Yeah,
that.
that trombone can't dispute the candlesticks.
No.
We're on the same page there for sure. Next question. Where do you see things going for, and I know where you want things to go,
Mhm.
but in all honesty, tell me right off the top of your head, what's going to happen on Monday night next week for Charlotte? Kind of like draft copy, block out the Charlotte programming for next week on Monday. Start to finish.
Start to finish?
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I feel like eventually there's going to be something between Becky Lynch and Charlotte, just from what we've been seeing. Maybe it'll happen next Monday, but maybe it'll happen at a later point.
Okay. And what about Paige?
Paige, I mean, she could always just have a blow-off match with Team Bad or any member of Team Bella. Many possibilities there. I mean, unless they want to continue with her and Charlotte.
What about Sasha?
Yeah.
Does that? I guess the question I'm kind of reaching for is this all just a ploy to get Sasha in the title picture? Because let's be honest here, she's the most over diva right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
And there's no reason why she shouldn't be wearing the strap, right?
No, I don't see why not.
Okay. As I'm seeing it right now, like I think when we put it on the whiteboard, a month ago, didn't we agree that it was going to be Charlotte versus Sasha for the Divas Championship?
Yeah, I think so.
Right now, it's right on track, it seems.
Pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Next question. This past week on the Stone Cold podcast, he was chatting with HBK. And Shawn Michaels made a really good point that I strongly agree with. He said, being compared to a great legendary superstar is cool, but as soon as you get good enough that you start drawing comparisons, that's when you need to start branching out and doing your own thing, because you're never going to become as famous as that original person doing that original person's thing. You have to make it different somehow. And he used the example with him and Ric Flair, because he emulated Ric Flair until people started saying, wow, he's like the new Ric Flair. And then he became the Shawn Michaels you know today. As an example, he said, Bray Wyatt reminds me like an Undertaker. But I think I think Bray has succeeded in making himself different enough from Taker that he's not trying to copy Taker. He's just sort of like Taker.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Right. My question is, I think I already know the answer. Is it too late for Dolph Ziggler to branch out and be different enough to not just be I don't want to say a Shawn Michaels clone, but someone who strongly emulates the Shawn Michaels in-ring methodology?
I don't know if it's too late. I feel like maybe now would be a good time, because like he has been having some really good matches with Tyler Breeze, and they kind of have a similar style in ring, so maybe that will kind of push him to change things up a little bit.
I hope so. Does he have a world title run left in him?
I mean, only Vince knows what the cards have in store, but I don't know if I see it happening as we speak. just from how he's been booked so far. But who knows?
Only time will tell.
I mean, he definitely is talented enough for it.
Oh, I agree with you 100% there. And it's time now for the final question of the night, and that is, I told you earlier this week, my speculation is that Jeff Hardy's going to come back during the Royal Rumble. Who do you think is going to be a surprise, unexpected entrant in the Royal Rumble this year?
Oh man.
Goldberg.
Goldberg! It's Stone Cold! Stone Cold! The Rock.
Is it The Rock?
Right hand, block right hand, block right hand.
If it was The Rock, it's not like people would boo. Because
No.
people never ever boo The Rock.
We come back when his cousin's the world champ.
And then hit him with the block right hand, block right hand.
Yeah.
Roman's not even punching, he's still blocking. Yep, absolutely. Anything else you want to cover from this most odd and noteworthy week in WWE? These are the types of weeks you can keep watching for, because I'm sure a lot of those people who said, "Oh, I'm done watching," those people are like, "Well, maybe I should have hung out for one more week."
Yeah. Never give up.
Trust your
Plug the
instincts.
towel.
Yeah, trust your instincts. Plug the towel. I was about to say your prayers and eat your vitamins, but that's redacted. And that's all the time we have for Wrestling Ramble for another week. Heading into the Christmas holidays, I'd like to take this opportunity to say, be good to one another. And we'll see you again next week.
Don't slip on the dry floor.